My name is Sky Johnson, and I am reporting live in the city of Hive. Hive stands for the Highly Integrated Vital Environment. The name Hive comes from the founders of our city had the island of Mount Honeycomb, and they needed a vital environment for them to live. And the island got too crowded, so they made interlocking floating docks, and so they could expand the city. The floating docks are made of, the shapes are octagons, hexagons, and rectangles. They made this shape because if you look from the top, it looks like a beehive. And there goes the name Hive again. But now I'll take you over to Mr. Smith, Stephen Smith, who is one of the founders, and he will tell you more about what are in the octagons.
In our octagons, we have our runoff water walls that keep runoff water from being in the houses so floods don't happen. And we have our residential zones. And in our other octagons, we have our farming and fishing areas.
Thank you. And what are in the hexagons?
In our hexagons, we have our industrial and commercial areas. In our industrial, we have our research center where we research stuff for our island. We have our facilities where we make things, and we have our water treatment center where we treat the water. And in our commercial area, we have our casino, our skyscrapers, our restaurants, and our park.
Thank you. Last but not least, what are in the rectangles?
In our rectangles, we have some of our attractions like the botanical gardens and our museum. We have some of our protection and crime like police, fire, and our hospital. We have our water distribution center and our power plant, which brings me to our maglev train station, a magnetic train that pulls passengers and freight cargo across the area. And we have our school. We have our elementary school and we have our high school, and our mascot is the Hornets. We have a football field, one of our monuments, the Stairs of Learning, and our auditorium.
Thank you. And then now I will take you over to Mr. Daniel Boone, who will tell you more about the agricultural standpoint in the city of Hive.
Thank you. As was said before, I was the American engineer called into Hive to design the farming facilities. In each farming facility, it is divided into two main parts, the crops and the fishing parts. We also have, for our fish, two kinds of areas. We have our indoor tilapia farms and our outdoor Atlantic salmon farms. For the cropland, we have a rotation system going between the soy and the corn. And then also, in the middle of every agricultural facilities, we have a storage/greenhouse where we store all of the crop produce until it is ready to be shipped to supermarkets and fresh produce stands around our city. Over here are some reasons why we picked out the fish and plants that we did. Tilapia is a saltwater fish that is high in protein and is good for us humans to consume. For Atlantic salmon, the reason why we picked this fish is because we are in the Atlantic Ocean, and as the Atlantic salmon migrate, we catch them, and then we send them to each salmon fishing facility so that we can make more of them and then distribute them even more across our city and even into other parts of the world. The two plants that we picked were maize, or known as corn in the U.S., and soy. Corn can not only be used as just corn, but it can also be used for stuff like cornmeal and, oh man, I got a brain fart there. Plastics and clothings, and also some corn-based chemicals. Soy is a leading plant we use in our animal feed. We also make many other products like soy milk and other dairy supplements. Tofu, soy sauce, and soy oil are also used with the soybeans. We can use the soy and the corn to be recycled into more soil so we can keep rejuvenating the soil.
Thank you. As I said, this is the city of Hyde, which is the city of the future. I am Sky Johnson, reporting live in the city of Hyde. Back to you in the studio.
All right, we just got a few questions for you. How did you choose your city's urban agricultural design?
We chose our crops and our fish because crops can be made, corn can be made into many different ways that we can use throughout our city, and it is a tasty thing to eat. And then we picked the fish because they are both high in protein, and the Atlantic salmon was around us, and it was a good source of fish that we could use to eat around us.
Do you have any moving parts?
Yes, our maglev train.
The maglev train is how we take people to and fro parts of the city, and also how we take freight from our farming and our industrial places to stores and packaging companies. So it is our main source of transportation. But if you were just on the main roads in our sections, you would use like a bike or you would walk. There's no cars except for the trucks that we use to get the produce and all the products to and fro the maglev stations.
Even though we do have trains, they are eco-friendly.
How do the trains operate? What are they running?
They run on magnets, and the magnets, since they're always opposite, they will push it along farther and farther along the track.
Is there any size factor or limit to the city, or?
There is no real limit to how big our city can get. Since we're in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Morocco, we can just make more docks and make the city bigger as we go. We can just make more shapes and docks and just expand out into the ocean.
Is that one city right there? Or
This is a small section of our city.
How big is the city then? And how many people would it hold?
Right now we have the city, it could probably hold about 160,000 people. If we needed more, like she said, we could expand even more. What's the relative size?
So what kind of people does your city need to operate?
We do still need agricultural engineers to come in and deal with any problems or new ways that we can improve our farming techniques. We need geologists for our land here and also for our volcano, because it is very interesting and we haven't really explored the volcano that much. We do need education, so we do bring in teachers, principals, coaches, all of that.
And we also need your policemen, your firemen, and your normal people who would work at the factories, at the normal places where people work.
You said that your soy you use for animal feed, but do you have other kinds of animals on your?
No, we use the soy and also the corn to feed our fish. At this time, we do not have any more other livestock or anything.
We do have animals, we just don't use them for actual food, because on our nature reserve, on our island, there is like a state park kind of there, and people can come and see the animals, but they're not for food sources.